Part 1. The Search for Purpose. Introduction to Ryan's journey. Setting the tone, Ryan begins his journey with an internal monologue about his feelings of confusion, weariness, and dissatisfaction. He's driven by the idea that material success isn't fulfilling and he is looking for something deeper. Ryan's past. Flashbacks to his past achievements, career, relationships, and how they feel hollow. Descriptions of his inner restlessness, making it clear that something crucial is missing from his life. The journey begins. Ryan makes the decision to leave the city and embark on a spiritual journey, setting off toward the monastery. His thoughts as he travels, reflecting on his current state and wondering if a change in scenery or approach could help him find peace. Arrival at the monastery. Physical descriptions of the monastery. The monastery is nestled on a mountain, serene and surrounded by nature. Descriptions of the sights, sounds, and smells of the environment as Ryan approaches. First meeting with Master Ishi. Ryan's first impression of the elder monk, who exudes a calmness Ryan desperately needs. Their conversation is filled with pleasantries, but there's an underlying tension as Ryan feels unsure whether he'll find what he's looking for here. Ryan's emotional state. He feels a mixture of hope and skepticism. The atmosphere of the monastery calms him, but he's unsure if it will be enough to answer his deep questions. First teachings from Master Ishi. Initial questions and doubt. Ryan sits with Master Ishi, his mind full of questions, particularly about the nature of people entering his life and the randomness of those connections. Master Ishi's response. The elder monk shares his thoughts on the purpose behind human connections, explaining that nothing happens by chance. He likens people to seeds in a garden, each with a role to play. Ryan's reflection. He listens intently but struggles with understanding. He reflects on people in his past and whether their presence had deeper meaning. The seeds in the garden metaphor helps him begin to rethink his perspective on relationships. Introduction to the garden symbolism. Master Ishi invites Ryan to walk through the garden, discussing how different connections are like different plants. Some last a long time and provide support, while others bloom briefly but leave a lasting impact. Ryan's internal dialogue. He wonders whether there's meaning behind the people who caused him pain, the people who have left, and the ones who have stayed. This section is a meditation on human relationships and the cycle of meeting and parting. Ryan's first insight. Ryan's realization. As Master Ishi continues explaining the role of each person in our lives, Ryan starts to see how the most challenging connections in his life have shaped him. He begins to understand that people's exits or presence aren't just random occurrences, but part of a larger design. Master Ishi's final wisdom for the part. Every encounter, no matter how painful, helps to shape your path. Like flowers in the garden, they bloom and wither in their own time, but they all have a purpose. Ryan begins to reflect on forgiveness and how these teachings are not just for others, but for his own peace. Part 2. The Garden of Life. Walking through the garden. Describing the garden. Detailed imagery of the monastery's garden, filled with a mix of plants, trees, flowers, and flowing water. It's an ideal setting for contemplation and learning. Ryan's evolving state of mind. As they walk, Ryan notices that some plants are in full bloom, while others are beginning to fade. This mirrors his own feelings about his relationships. Some connections feel alive, others are passing by, and some have faded away. Master Ishi's guidance. Master Ishi explains that life, much like a garden, is a blend of growth, decay, and rebirth. People come into our lives like seasons. Some connections will stay, others will fade, but each one brings value. Understanding painful connections. Ryan's past painful connections. He begins to reflect more deeply on the painful relationships in his life. He thinks about a former friend who betrayed him, a family member who was emotionally distant, and how these experiences shaped his journey. Master Ishi's teachings on suffering. Master Ishi discusses the Buddha's teachings about suffering, explaining that difficult people in our lives are often the ones who teach us the most. They challenge us to grow in ways that comfort and ease cannot. Symbolism of sharp stones. Master Ishi introduces the metaphor of sharp stones on a path painful, uncomfortable, but necessary for the traveler to keep moving forward. Through these experiences, Ryan begins to understand that painful people aren't obstacles. They are part of his growth. The purpose of each connection. Master Ishi's 3 types of people. Master Ishi introduces a teaching about 3 types of people in our lives. Those who are steady and supportive, like the roots of a tree. Those who challenge and disrupt us, like the wildflowers that push us to new growth. And those who only stay briefly but leave a lasting impact, like the momentary blossoms. Ryan's reflection. Ryan starts to classify the people in his life into these categories. He reflects on the steadiness of his mother, the disruption caused by a former partner, and the brief but powerful connection he had with a stranger who taught him an invaluable lesson. Forgiving painful connections. Master Ishi discusses how forgiveness is not about excusing the actions of others, but about releasing the hold that anger and resentment have on us. Ryan begins to consider how holding on to his grudges has kept him from moving forward. Part 3. The Wisdom of Release. The Struggle of Letting Go. Ryan's Resistance. Ryan grapples with the idea of releasing people who have caused him pain. He feels reluctant to let go of relationships, fearing the loss and the emotional impact. Master Ishi's guidance on attachment. Master Ishi explains the Buddhist teachings on attachment, explaining how clinging to relationships or possessions only leads to suffering. He emphasizes the importance of releasing attachment to people, not because they are bad, but because clinging to them prevents growth. Ryan's internal struggle. Ryan experiences inner turmoil as he reflects on the relationships he might need to release. This section explores his fear of loss and his need to control the relationships in his life. The importance of boundaries. Master Ishi's lessons on boundaries. Master Ishi talks about the importance of setting boundaries in relationships. He compares boundaries to the walls of a garden, protecting what is tender and allowing for healthy growth. Ryan's realizations about his own boundaries. Ryan starts to realize that he has let some people into his life without establishing the necessary boundaries. He feels overwhelmed by their needs and realizes that he's been sacrificing his own well-being to please others. Setting boundaries in relationships. Master Ishi teaches Ryan how to practice compassionate detachment, setting boundaries without guilt. Ryan practices saying no to others and learns that true kindness comes from a place of self-respect and self-care. Releasing the past. Ryan's journey of forgiveness. Ryan reflects on his past and the people who have hurt him. Through Master Ishi's teachings, he learns that forgiveness is not about forgetting, but about freeing himself from the emotional burden. Forgiving himself. Ryan learns that the first step to forgiving others is forgiving himself. He reflects on the mistakes he's made, the ways he's hurt others, and how he needs to let go of the guilt he's carried for so long. The practice of letting go, Master Ishi leads Ryan through a meditation on releasing the past and forgiving both himself and others. Ryan practices visualization, letting go of old wounds and embracing the freedom that comes with forgiveness. Part 4. The Freedom of Compassion. The Final Teachings. Master Ishi's teachings on compassion. Master Ishi talks about the ultimate freedom that comes with compassion. True compassion is not about rescuing others, but about creating space for them to grow on their own. He teaches Ryan that true love and kindness come from a place of inner peace and strength. Ryan's transformation. Ryan's understanding deepens. He realizes that compassion begins with himself. He can't give to others unless he first nurtures himself. He begins to practice self-compassion and mindfulness. The power of compassionate distance. Master Ishi's final lesson. Master Ishi teaches Ryan how to maintain compassionate distance, caring for others without losing oneself in their struggles. Ryan learns how to be present for others without sacrificing his own peace and well-being. Ryan's understanding. Ryan practices compassionate detachment, learning that he can help others without becoming overwhelmed by their needs. He begins to see the world and his relationships from a place of balance and self-respect. The conclusion and Ryan's departure. Ryan's final realization. As Ryan prepares to leave the monastery, he reflects on the lessons he's learned. He understands that his journey is ongoing, but he now has the tools to navigate life's challenges with a sense of purpose and peace. Master Ishi's final words. Remember, Ryan, the connections we nurture illuminate our way forward, even when the path seems dark. Ryan's departure. Ryan leaves the monastery with a new perspective on life. He holds 3 small gifts from Master Ishi: a smooth stone, a dried flower, and a small lantern. These symbolize the lessons he's learned: reflection, beauty in fleeting moments, and the light of understanding.